Hi guys, now I'm going to talk about animations. Animation is very big topic, so I'll give you a quick start that how you can get started with the animation in this video. So I've created a new project by just running. If I go to my cli.angular.io, and you can see that we can execute a command ng space new space the name of our application, and I ran this command, and it created a new project with the name animations. That was the name of my application. After that, I ran this command ngserve to start my application, and my application has been started this on the port 4200. So let's get started working with animation. First of all, we need to go to package.json, and these are all the libraries that are by default fetched by our Angular CLI when we created our application. And but we need to add one more library along with these libraries, and that is called animations. An animation library will be used for animating different objects. So I'm going to press Ctrl C to end the running state of my application, and I'm going to use the Node Package Manager to install the animation library. So I will write npm install. You can use cmd as well, but I'm using WebStorm, so it has a default terminal inside it, so that's why I'm using this terminal. So npm install at angular slash animations at latest hyphen save to add this library within this dependency object. So I'm going to press enter. It's going to take some time, and it's going to install this animation library within these dependency objects, and I'm going to show you that it will be added automatically because of hyphen save I have written after this npm command. If I don't write hyphen save, it will be added within node modules folder, but it will not be shown up within these dependencies objects. It is very important that you add the required dependencies within this dependencies object, because if you want to give this project to someone else, you will not give this node modules folder. It contains very big files, and you will not be able to send that thing. Instead, you will just tell him or her that install npm install, and it will automatically detect all the packages within this package.json file. It's going to install automatically. So our animation package has been installed, and it has not been shown up right now, and I need to reload this file again. So open this up again, and I'm gonna save this one. So I think I need to refresh this folder. So let's open this up again, and you can see that this angular slash animation library has been added, and it has a version. This is the latest version. The 4 starting in every library shows that this is the Angular 4 libraries, and there is the same process for Angular 2, but it will not be 4 in case of Angular 2. So we have Angular 4 animations library installed. So now let's go to our source app, and first of all open up app.module.ts file. So we can see that we have imported other few core libraries. In Angular 4 we have a separated library from which we need to import our animations. So for that, I will write import. Within the brackets I will write browser animation module, and this will be from angular slash platform browser slash animations. Okay, so once we import these libraries, we need to add these libraries within our imports array, just like we added other libraries. So I'm going to copy this one, browser animations module. Okay, so I'm going to save this file. That was it for this file. Now let's go and open up our app.component.ts file. And inside it, we are going to write our animations code. We can see that we have a selector. So first of all, I'm going to add few elements within our HTML file. So I'm going to remove the previous written elements, that is h1, and I'm going to write div. And within this div, I'm going to write button, and button will be click me, and after that I have a paragraph and it has a text look me. So what I'm gonna do is, if I click on this button, I'm going to increase or decrease the size of this text that is within the P element, and I will be adding different animations that it will be slowly increasing and decreasing the size, but not suddenly. Okay, so let's save this file, and I'm going to run my application to see how it looks. But before that, as it is loading my application, I'm going back to my app.component.ts file. I'm going to add another property here, and that is the style. I want to bring these elements at the center of my screen. So for bringing these elements at the center of our screen, we can write our style property within this component. So I'm going to write comma, and I'm going to write styles colon array, and within this array I need to press a character that is on the left side of one digit. Okay, so this is 1, so I'm going to press enter, and here I'm going to define few styles. Make sure you add this character that is on the top left corner just below the escape sign on your keyboard. So within these styles, I'm going to select div, and I want to bring it at the center, so I will write margin 0 auto, text align center, and width is 100 pixels. Okay, so let's first go and reload it, and we can see that our elements have been shown up in our web browser page, and these are at the center of our screen. And if I click on this button, it will do nothing because I haven't added any click event on this button, because I need to add few animations, and on animation trigger function I need to add a click event on this button. So let's go back, let's save this file, all the files, and let's come back to our app.component.ts file. So within, we need to import few things before writing our animation code. So first of all, we need to import trigger, and that can be triggered whenever a button is clicked, whenever any elements is changed, whenever we write anything inside the text box, whenever we check any checkbox or a radio button, anything we can apply this trigger. So this is required for starting the animation. And after that, we need to add a state, and state shows the state of our application, the animation, at one stage the state of our text is small, and other stage the state of our text is large. So we can have further states. So after that, we can add a styles, and that is required style library. We can have a transition and animate. So that's pretty much fine for now, because this is a pretty basic tutorial. So I'm going to write angular / animations. So I'm going to be using all these things just right now. So in order to apply the animation on these elements, first of all, I need to add our trigger. So I will add a comma, and I will write animations key, and it has an array actually. Okay, so make sure you write the same spelling, and within inside it I'm going to write trigger and the name of my trigger, and the name should be meaningful because this will be used for applying this trigger on input on this button element or any other input element. Okay, so I will write my animation, and after that I will add array, and within this array I need to add states. So I will add a state smaller, and I'm going to add its style. So I will write transform scale 1, and after that I need to copy this one and paste it, and I'm going to change the name of this state, and that is larger, and when it is larger I need to scale it up to 3%. Okay, so that's been done, but after this state I need to add a transitions. Transition can be like small, less than, equals to, greater than. This is a sign, and I'm going to write larger, animate. Within the single quotes I'm going to write 300 ms is in. Okay, and this is not small, this is smaller, this one. Okay, so I'm going to save this file, and let's go back to see if it loads and there is no error. Right click and go to inspect. So there is no error. So let's come back to our file, and this was all we need to write. Now we need to add a trigger event on this button and add animation element animation property for this p tag, because I want to increase and decrease the size of this p text whenever this button is clicked. Okay, but before that, within this class I need to add a function, and that will be animate. Okay, and above that I will write a state variable, and that is a string, and at start it's going to contain smaller, and whenever that button is clicked I'm going to change the variable value from smaller to larger and from larger to smaller. So I'm going to write this dot state equals to this dot state equals and I'm going to write larger if it is smaller, otherwise keep the larger. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to save this file. Let's go back to our HTML, and I'm going to add that trigger event. So I will write a click equals to animate. All right, and I need to apply that trigger, this trigger name to which I want to apply this transition animation. Okay, so I will write and use the square brackets, and I will write at my animation. Let me check if it's like this. I'm going to copy this one and paste it, and I'm going to end my square brackets, and this is going to be equals to state. Okay, so let's save this file, and let's go back to our browser, and I'm going to click out this button, and you can see I have clicked out this button. It has animated and increased the size of this text. If I click on this button again, it's going to go back to its smaller state, and this is because the two-way direction is because I used this sign. If I remove the less than character from this sign, is going to move one direction. So if I click on it, if I click on it again, it reloaded and reversed the size of that text without animation because I removed that character. You can see, and I need to go back and Control Z to get back that previous sign. And let's go back and click on it and click back. You can see that the animation is working. So that was a basic introduction of animations, and there are some advanced level animations like how to change the position, how to apply different sparkle effects, and there are many things that we can apply. We can use frame rates, we can use other transformation elements, or applying different things. So that was it for this video. I'm going to be talking about later about the advanced animations. So stay tuned, make sure to subscribe my channel, and if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe.